I am Muhammad Ashik Falil. I work as a solution architect with Tata Consultancy Services for last 12 years. I have experience working with Microsoft cloud environment a lot, and especially with 365. Right, and we also have Tirunavakar Sikanappan, who would be introducing shortly. And we both are Microsoft certified trainers, and you can see my social handles here, my LinkedIn, my Twitter, and also if you have got something to say, you can also send me an email. And I'm also a blogger. I've wrote a couple of blog posts related to Microsoft 365 Power Apps, Power Automate, and also Azure. So I encourage you to take a look at it. Take a look at my blog post. So this is the address, right? So over to you, Tirunavakarasu.
Yeah, thanks, Ashik. Yeah, hi everyone. This is Thiru. I'm working as a solution architect in TCS. So I have a 14 plus experience in the Microsoft technologies. I'm more comfortable in the cloud and M365 oriented. In that, like today also, we are going to cover about that Power BI in that different flavor. So not on this traditional one. Yeah, go ahead, Ashik.
Yeah, perfect. So this is our agenda for today. We'll be quickly starting up or touch base upon the architecture for Power BI, which my friend Thuru will be doing it. And after that, we'll be going through the configuration. So what is how you can connect to on-premise data with the help of a gateway. This is a service provided by Microsoft, which helps us to connect on-premise data sources. There are a lot of data sources which you can connect. I'll be showing a live demo on the configuration, how to configure the gateway, and I'll be showing to a Power BI report, a simple report which gets data from an on-premise SQL. And follow that, Tirunavakarasu will be doing, we'll be discussing about the latest AI features when it comes to the Power BI. And he'll also be showing a couple of AI visuals for Power BI, and there'll be also an live demo. At the last, we will take up questions related to what we have presented today. So over to you, Thuru.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Ashik. So yeah, before jumping to that, the core topics, like we just want to kind of like a recap about that Power BI because there are different audiences joined, those who might already know about that Power BI and other components also, but those who might new to the Power BI also. For that, just we will give a like a high level overview. So what is the Power BI and what are the key components in the Power BI? So the Power BI is a kind of like it's a cloud business analytical service which is created by the Microsoft, because when they come up with that, they want to create a centralized visualized platform. That time, like Microsoft created this Power BI one. So when they created this one, they directly targeted in the cloud. So instead of like installing the local environment and create the reports, so that's how like they started this one. In that, in terms of the Power BI architectures, there are the three key components which support this everything. One is this one like a data set. So that is the primary first component to start with the Power BI. And second thing is like the reporting, and the third one is a dashboard. So if you want to create any like reports, means even everybody would have created in that Excel. So you need that data. So data is the primary thing. So that's the same thing here also. You can relate the data set as a data source or data, anything you can relate. So you can connect the various data sets, like kind of like you have like a local Excel file, you have like a SQL server or Oracle and different kind of SAP, and any different types of data source you can connect in the Power BI. So that one directly you connect in the data set. So that is a key thing. So once you connect the data in the data set, then with the data set, you can create a report. So usually like in the Excel and all, we will go on just to open a chart and that we will start and add that corresponding attribute. Similarly, in that Power BI also, there is a section called Canvas, that is called the report section. So in that report section, once you create the data set using in the report canvas, you can just drag and drop the field and you can create any type of charts. So there are like a preset of visuals are already available in that Power BI service. In that, like you can create reports. So once you create a report, you can directly pin to the dashboard, or you can directly share the report from the report canvas sections also. So that's why the options are available. So the cool feature is kind of like in the dashboard, like you can widely share to the entire organization or individual person in your organization, or even go to the external stakeholders also. So that's how like the features are available. This everything will be in that hosted in the cloud, like that is called like a Power BI service. So there is a key difference will be there. So one is the Power BI service and second one is the Power BI desktop. So that's why I'm saying. So any kind of development, like for example, Python or .NET, you need to use the IDE, right? Integrated Development Environment. Similarly, if you want to develop any report, like it's the same kind of IDE called like Power BI desktop. So that's how like they will call us a Power BI desktop. So we just want to show that how evolved this Power BI. That's the reason like we pasted this older version, so that like you will get a like how much that evolved this one. In the Power BI desktop, you will get a different all the variety of options like to connect the data set. With that, you can create a similar reports and you can directly publish that report to the Power BI service. So as I said, that one is like a Power BI desktop and second one is a Power BI service. Even in the Power BI desktop, you can connect similar kind of things like on-premises data sources, online data sources, or some of the like third-party online data sources, nothing but like a SharePoint and like a Salesforce and different connectors are available. So because the slowly like every time they are adding the connector in the Power BI services, like even you can connect the Facebook also as a one of the data source. So everything you can connect here, you can do that all the ETL operations. Like ETL operations, nothing but you can do the transformation. For example, you are getting two separate data, raw data. In that you can combine, join the raw data, and you can create a like a joined output as a third as a table. In the table, you can create a visual also. Everything possible in the Power BI desktop, and once you create that one, you can publish also. So that is a one variety of this one in that one. And similarly, there are people are looking for the real-time dashboard. So like for example, the score dashboard or some kind of like real-time monitoring on the cricket score and different real-time reporting scenarios are there based on that individual business need. So similarly, when you want to connect the live dashboard like that, they are come up with that like analytical engine like a SAS, SQL Server Analysis Services. In that SQL Server Analysis, you can connect to this one in the Power BI desktop, and you have a direct two mode options available. One is a direct query and a second one is the import model. So choose either on one, and using this one, you can just create a live report. And for supporting the live report, there is an on-premises gateway will be supported. That one Ashik will cover about that one. He will cover not only the generic gateway, he will cover about that all the other features like high availability and other set of things, everything he will cover in the upcoming slides. So you can use that gateway and to connect the same similar setup live, and you can publish also. And the output, like for example, either you can directly view the report in the browser, and there are another ways also, like you can directly create the mobile layout also. Earlier versions, it is not supported, but now if you are designing any report, there is an option they are providing a desktop or mobile layout. So in the mobile layout, you can just design that all the reports in the mobile layout, and you can also pin that one. And finally, you can just see the report in the mobile. You are like iOS and Androids are supported that one, so you can download and you can see also. So that is a one way for to see the report, and second one is like a Power BI service in the browser, and third one is you can directly like see in that Power BI desktop also. This is a high complete like a functional flow in that architecture blocks. Okay, I think if you have any questions, we can answer. Otherwise, means we can go on to that Ashik.
Okay, so thank you so much, Thiru. We'll take up questions at the end. just make a note of your questions. We will be having 5 to 10 minutes to answer all your queries. So thank you so much, Thiru. So I will take it up now. I will proceed. So as my friend said, Power BI, it is so powerful service within Microsoft 365, right? And if you have to use it, you should own, you should have a license, right? And my friend will be talking in a while about the different types of licenses on a very high level, the premium capacity, and also the Power BI Pro, which you get part of your enterprise license within Microsoft 365. So here there are a lot of data sources which you can use. You can if you have got a SharePoint a list on a SharePoint online list, and there are connectors which you can leverage to easily connect it. Right, and you can easily connect to all the Microsoft 365 applications or services when it comes to online, and you can easily connect to the Azure sources. If you've got an SQL in Azure, you can do so, right? And also, as my friend said, you can easily connect to the other cloud sources like Salesforce, Facebook, etc. So this is the part which I'll be covering. So if you have data on your on-premise network infrastructure, how to get it, right? So you can get it with the help of a data gateway. So this is our the topic which I'll be covering. Hello.
Yeah, screen is taking time. Okay, yeah. Now we can see the hybrid being only.
Yeah.
So we. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So the data gateway. What is the gateway? So it acts like a bridge between your Power BI service and infrastructure, right? And you can easily connect with a lot of data sources like SharePoint. If you've got an on-premise data source, right, on-premise SharePoint farm, and if you'd like to get that data displayed on Power BI, and you can do so with the help of this gateway configuration. And if you've got data in SQL, which is running on-premise, or Oracle, MySQL, or PostgreSQL, and if you want to get data from the file system on your on-premise infrastructure, you can easily get it with the help of this gateway, right? And also from SAP and mainframe, right? So Microsoft also keeps adding this list. It grows a lot, and when this was initially started, this gateway concept, and there were hardly 7 or 8 8 types of data sources. Now it is even more, right? Whatever I've shown here, it is just a couple, right? So there are some prerequisites when it comes to the gateway. You should have a 64-bit Windows machine, or Windows Server 2012 and above. That should also be a 64-bit, and your machines should have a .NET Framework 4.7.2 or later versions. And it's the recommended RAM when it comes to the memory is 8 GB. And there are a lot of other conditions as well, which you will have to follow. Like you should be on an Ethernet, right? So connected network, not on a Wi-Fi, to have a better performance. So I've given links on the references section. This slide will be shared with you later. There is very nice documentation, detailed documentation from Microsoft on the prerequisite, and also the best practices when it comes to the gateway implementation, right? So once you have configured the data gateway, the enterprise gateway, you can easily connect. You can use it on the Azure Analysis Service, Azure Logic Apps, Power BI, Power Apps, right? So Power Automate. So all the Power Platform services can actually get the data from the on-premise sources. So on a very high level, this is how it works. So once you have configured the data gateway, right, so you'll have to provide the the credentials for the data. In order to access the on-premise data source, you'll have to provide credentials, right? And what context the data gateway has to get the data from. Right, so that'll be actually done during the configuration, and it'll be done on the cloud, which I'll be showing in a while. Right, so once there is a request to request from the cloud service, be it Power BI or Power Apps or Power Automate, what will happen is it will send a queue, it'll send a message to the Azure service bus. So there'll be a queue, and also the credentials, whatever whichever we'll be using it during the configuration, it'll be encrypted, and it'll be sent to the service bus, and it will then this particular service in Azure, it'll then queue it to the on-premise data gateway, which will in turn send the request to the corresponding on-premise data sources to further process it, right? To get the latest data to be shown on these services. So I'm going on to the next slide. So the Power BI gateway, there are a lot of configurations which you can actually do. So as I said, after you install the Power BI gateway on a machine, the enterprise data gateway on a machine, you can also install it on multiple machines. You can clusters, right? So what happens if you have got only one gateway configured? If that goes down, and everything will fail, right? So you'll not be able to refresh if it's on a Power BI. You'll not be able to refresh the data set. It cannot be done, right? So to make that how high available, you can create clusters, right? And when coming to the clusters, there are actually three types. One is failover. So let's assume that you have got two gateways. Right, so when one gateway fails, the other gateway picks up the request, right, and that is the failover type. And there is also a round robin concept, right? So going with the same assumption, we have got two gateways configured to get data from an on-premise data source, and for the first request, let's say the first gateway picks up, right, and the next time the other gateway server is going to be picking up. So that is kind of a round robin concept. And also you can configure the gateway to load balance based on the CPU performance or based on the memory. So let's say you've got two gateways, and whenever there is a request from the cloud service, be it a Power BI, right? So the gateway, the one gateway, it has not, if it has not got enough CPU or enough memory, then you can automatically route that request to the other gateway. It can be done with the help of this configuration. So when it comes to the authentication method for the data gateway, there are actually three types. One is a basic authentication. So I will take an example of SQL, right? So if you've got an SQL with SQL authentication instead of Windows, then use this basic, right? And next one is Windows, and you can even configure single sign-on. And if you have got a data set where you like to delegate the permission based on who the user is accessing the data set, then you can do so with this authentication method, Windows, right? So these are the various with authentication methods. And there is also OAuth. And if your data source supports OAuth, then you can configure your gateway to have this particular authentication method. Right, and when it comes to the Power BI, there is also a separate data gateway which is called as personal mode, but this particular mode is not available for the Windows. Not available for the Power Apps and Power Automate, and you can use this mode only for Power BI. Right, so when it comes to management management of your gateways. You can do it in multiple places. You can do it from the Power Platform Admin Center, and you can also do it from the PowerShell. Right, so this diagram here, the gateway architecture, and this is what I'll be showing you during this session. So we have got one a simple data source which is installed on my local machine, SQL, and then we have got a gateway setup, and we'll be also using a Power BI desktop to create a simple report connected to this data source, on-premise SQL data source. And once this is published to a workspace in your cloud, in your Microsoft 365 cloud, right, as a report, and once that is published and the data set after the data gateway is configured, and you can easily be able to quickly complete the configuration for data set so that it automatically refreshes and gets its data from the on-premise data source on a periodical basis. So when it comes to the identity, through, as already talked about, you can the users will be authenticated against the Azure AD to consume the app or the workspace, dashboard or report. Right, so that is it theoretically. Let me now quickly show the configuration, how we can do it. So I'm I'll be showing my desktop. Right, so this is the documentation part. This link is also there on this slide, which you'll be getting it at the end of the session. So the documentation is detailed, how you can configure it, right, and what is the architecture and how it works and what are the frequently asked questions. Right, and how to install it and how to configure it and how you can manage a gateway and how you can troubleshoot a gateway if there is a problem. Right, so it is detailed, so you can definitely take a look at this one if you have to use this gateway on your enterprise. So before I start with the configuration, let me quickly show the database. Right, so it has got this is the database which is installed on my local computer, and it has got a database, and I have installed 2019 developer edition. And if you want to test this, and you can do it on your local machine, right, so without any licensing cost, and this is free for developers. I have installed a Windows 2019 SQL Server. And I have a very simple database which has got two tables, departments and employee info. So we are going to create a report, a simple report with these two tables. And before that, I've also configured SQL authentication, and it is not Windows, right? So it is SQL. So the data gateway will be using the SA SQL Server authentication, the credentials to access this data source. Right, so let me quickly now show the configuration. Right, so if you have to download this gateway, I'll be quickly showing that now. And once you go to your Power BI app.powerbi.com, and if you click on this one, right, so click on this download icon at the top and data gateway, and you get these two types of gateways. One is an enterprise, the standard mode, and the other one is personal mode. And as I said, the personal mode is only for Power BI, and it is not available for the other cloud services like Power Apps and Power Automate. And the standard mode is the recommended one for if you're rolling it out for your enterprise users, and you'll have to be configuring it with the standard mode. And there are actually differences with which is very well documented on Microsoft. You can take a look at it to see the difference between a standard mode and a personal mode. This is where you can download download the data gateway. I have already downloaded it. I have just installed the gateway, and this is the configuration. Once it is completely installed, and this is the first screen which you will be getting it after it is installed on your local on your computer. But typically you will have this install. You'll be installing it on your internet network, right? And it can also be run if you have your on-premise data sources on Azure. You can do so. You can install it on your Azure virtual machine. And if there is time, I will also quickly show you how you can create clusters. But on this for this configuration, I'll be creating one single gateway. And this is the first screen. And what I'm doing is the address of Microsoft 365. So this user is going to be the gateway admin, right? So once you sign in, and you'll be prompted for the credentials. Yeah, one sec. So yeah, I have enabled MFA. I'm waiting for the password, the key. Yeah, I got one, 807546. Yeah, so this is the next second screen. What we are doing now is we are registering a new gateway. And you have got this option as well, the second one. And if you have to migrate a gateway from a different machine, and you can do so, or restore it, or restore. Or restoring another gateway which is not run, where you have a machine which has been corrupted, which had that gateway, and you can do it with the second option. And on this session, I'll be doing the first one, register a new gateway on this computer. Right, so the name of this gateway local, right? So this is the second option. And if you're creating a cluster, a high availability, then once you have the first gateway in place, you'll have to select this one to register, to add your gateway to the existing cluster, right? So I'm not going to do that because I'll be creating a gateway, registering a first gateway now. So the require key, and this key, once you have it, make a note of it, and you'll be using this to connect to a cluster, or if you have to restart your data gateway service, you'll have to use this key. Right, so I'm clicking on configure. It takes a couple of seconds, not more. Yeah, so it is done. The gateway is now configured. Right, so it is all done. Let me now quickly show the services. So if you go to the services.msc, and you'll be able to see that service up and running. So on-premise data gateway is running, and it runs. It uses this credential, PBI gateway account, right? And this is the local account which currently it uses, but you can change it to a different account. You have, let's say your on-premise account, which is there on your AD. You can change it. But on a typical enterprise configuration, you'll not have this. You use this service account, but rather it's going to be an account on the AD. Right, so this is ready now. And if I go to the Power BI app.powerbi.com, and I have logged in using this account, which I have used to configure the data gateway. And if I go look for manage gateways from the settings, right? So this is the one which we have added, gateway local, and it'll automatically come here. And our next step is to add a data source to the SQL, right? So with this now, I can access, and if I've got an on-premise SharePoint farm running here, running on this network, then I can access it, right? And I'm going to add a data source, SQL data source. So click on what I've done is click on this one and add data source, right? So name your data source, SQL local. Right, so these are the various data sources. Like you can, if you have to get data from your Active Directory, you can get it, your local Active Directory. Right, so blob storage, and there are a lot of stuff you can take a look at it. And our interest is on SQL. Yeah, and what is the server name? Right, so let me quickly get that. So this is my SQL server name. So server, a database, and we are going to connect to employees. Employees, an authentication method. As I said, I'm going to use the SQL Server authentication. So I choose basic, and this is an SQL account. Yeah. So now once you have added it, click on add. So it is now added, right? So now our next step is to create a simple report from you using the Power BI desktop. We are going to import the data from an SQL server. Click on this one, and then the data, the server name, right? So desktop, AJ, whatever the server name, the database, employees. If I'm not wrong, yeah, employees. So the data connectivity mode import, I'm going with this one. Since you're running it on your local machine, and you'll be able to get the tables, right? So I've got two tables on the SQL, which I'm selecting now. I'm going to load that. Yeah. So yeah, the data is now loaded. It had automatically created the relationship to the department ID, right? So let me quickly go to the create a simple visualization, right? So I'm going to use the name, right? And then location, role, and also from department name. No, not department. Yeah, so department name. So I've got it. Let's quickly publish this report to a workspace. Yeah, so it's working on it. It's still working on it. why it takes this longer? Yeah, so it is it now asks me to select the destination, right? I'm going to select which finance or finance team. Select, right? It is getting published, right? And if I go to the Power BI here, this interface, I'm just refreshing it to be on a safer side. Finance team. Yeah, so this one. So this is the report. It got published now, right? And if I go to the settings, right, the data gateway configuration, data gateway local is what we have now configured. You'll have to just map it to the data source which we have created. Right, I'm just selecting the SQL local data source which we have created during the configuration. After configuration, we went to the settings and created a data source, right? And I'm selecting that and apply it, right? So now that is it. And if you have to schedule a refresh, right, for automatic updates, and you can add up to 88. You can do up to 48 refreshes for a day as of now. Right, so I'm going to quickly add some timing. Yeah. So now if I go look at the report, finance team and the report, right? So we have got these users. So let me now quickly add a new record to the database. Right, I will access it here, the employee info, edit. Yeah, so 24099 4 years, right? So department ID 2, location Frankfurt. Yeah. So we have added a new record. Let's go ahead and quickly refresh this. Do an on-demand refresh for the data set. Right, so finance team, and this is the data set. I'm doing an on-demand refresh. So it is getting refreshed. Right, so as I said, it's going to create a message on the Azure queue, and then the Azure service plus queue then sends that to the data source in order to process. Now the data set is refreshed, and if you you can go look at the settings to see the refresh history. So it is completed successfully. The on-demand one, which we have just done, which we have just completed. Right, so now if I go to the finance team and then the report, right, and if I refresh it, we'll have the new user, Riaz, right? So this is it. We have the new person which got automatically refreshed from the on-premise data source. So I'll just take 2 more minutes to quickly show you here the Azure on my Azure machine to create a cluster, right? And what I have is already we have this one data gateway configured on another Azure machine, right? So I'm not going to take more time. So we have got we will give time to Thuru as well. One sec. No, my keyboard settings. Right. So I'm not going to show that now because I'll have to fix my keyboard here. So once you have entered the details here, right, and the next one you'll have to select the cluster and then which cluster you like to join this gateway, and then it'll automatically connect, and then you'll be having this high availability cluster setup available, right? And I will quickly now show the PowerShell commands. Yeah. So here, okay, PowerShell support, right? So if to get your on-premise data gateway details, you can get it from PowerShell. You'll have to install a module, which I've already done it, right? And after that, you'll have to just log in, right? So this one, this command, login, and then it'll ask for the account name, and once that is done, and you can get all the details like the clusters and the gateways, etc. Right. So let me quickly run that. Data gateway clusters. Yeah. So I think I'll have to log in again. So which I'm not going to do it. We are already late. So that is it. From my side, I've got a lot to cover, but we haven't got enough time. Maybe in the future session we'll be doing. If you want to know more on this topic, please let us know on the survey form. We'll be covering it on a very detail, like creating a clusters and etc. Right. So thank you so much. Now over to you, Thuru.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Ashik. Okay.
I'm stopping my presentation now. You can share your screen and also the presentation.
Sure, Ashik. Okay, let me know once you're able to see my screen.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Okay. Hope everyone's seeing the screen. Okay, so today mostly we are going to cover in that artificial intelligence. So probably like everybody know about the terminologies and what is behind that it will work. So for example, if you have a data, like for example, today's sales data, if you want to see about that various insights from the data, means you need to set up one machine and you need to hire some machine learning developer. They need to you train the data using some of the various algorithm. With that, then they will finally come and say that one. So based on the sales data, this is the outcome. That's how like they will show the report. For this work, at least it will take like 1 or 2 months. If you want to simple data set, if you want to build that various like artificial intelligence features. But to overcome this everything, like now the Power BI come up with the solutions like they have integrated all the AI feature in that now Power BI desktop itself. So that is the one today we are going to cover, because like as you know, you already know about the basic about that what is a Power BI and what are the things they have supported and how to connect the on-prem. But this one is like completely how to integrate the AI feature in the Power BI. So to jump that one, before going to jump, you need to understand about the core things about that types of licensing offer from the Power BI. So thing is like right now, like one is like a Power BI Pro and second one is a Power BI Premium. Why I'm sharing this one means if you want to like detail about that AI features and big data analytics, everything means you have to only that any kind of organization means you need to choose with that Power BI Premium only. So that is a one, it supported that everything. And if you want like as a like a data analyst and any kind of like a small user, if you want to learn about that AI, how that AI is incorporated with that Power BI means you can go for this Power BI Pro. Even you can just it has a like a 7 days trial and 7 to 14 days trials are available. It is not required like you need to go on just to use the organization version. You can still go on just to use the Power BI Pro with your ID and you can create a trial account. With that you can explore this all the features. So that is still available. So you can good to go on that one. Okay, so now in terms of the two versions, like in that Power BI Pro and Power BI Premium, so which are this more supported, which one I can just share here. So like Azure A means like everybody know about, like, okay, there is a cognitive services available in the Azure platform. In the cognitive services, Azure offers that various machine learning algorithm. In the machine learning algorithm, you can feed your data. With that, you can just see your output. So that is the key things. Okay, but you can ask the question also, what is the different thing I'm getting? Because I have a data, I am already creating that measures and various reports in the chart itself. Along with that, what else I will get from the reports? That is the one key difference in the AI visuals. So I can cover in that demo session detail. But before that, these are the cognitive features available. The standard algorithm, for example, you have a dedicated AI team in your organization. They have built various models also. That is the first scenario. So in the same model, you want to reutilize means you can still utilize. So that's how the Power BI says. If you already have an AI team and you already have a built-in the models, why can't you reuse the model and build that same visual using that models also? That is the features are available in the cognitive services. And second thing is, like, you already know that one in the cognitive services, the Microsoft also offer the different inbuilt services that is called LUIS, language natural processing oriented. So in that one, like, because day-to-day services in the Google Assistant and various thing, you are seeing that one like a text translation. If you type some text and you can see the different languages also that is available. Similarly, vision. If you upload some image, you can see that what this particular image, that is a car or it is a kind of like animal, anything like you can recognitions also. That is a image recognition. And similarly, there are various available also, like text to speech, speech to text. There are all the features are available. Everything like Azure AI is offer. So that all the things are now you can integrate in the Power BI. So that is a cool things like Microsoft integrated in that one. So this everything like this entire like left side block, everything supported in the Power BI premium workload. That is a key thing I'm saying. I'm just saying here. If you want to explore the premium workload, still that premium workload also they are offering as a trial version. You can just set up the premium workload and you can just utilize that one. And second thing is, like, for example, in the Pro, what else is supported in the Pro? The Pro means you can have the standard visuals are available, AI visual. So what is the difference between the standard visual and the AI visual? Standard visual, you can directly drag the data, so drag the visual and you can load the, select the attributes. It will show the visual, whatever the data is available in that in the visual. But the AI visual means it will behind it will run the machine learning. It will run that analysis. Based on that analysis, it will dynamically change your visual and dynamically populate the data in that AI visual. So that is a key difference between the standard and the AI visual. So that one I will cover in the demo. And the premium means, as I said, these are the things, everything you can leverages. Okay, so the key visuals in the AI visual is like a key influencer and the decomposition tree and Q&A. Even the people are might heard about the Q&A, standard Q&A, but now how they evolve in the Q&A visual also we are going to see in soon. And the key influencer. So what is a key influencer? Because you have sales data, but you need to see that one. Okay, today you got like a 10,000 sales, but tomorrow you got 8,000 sales. And upcoming days the sales are decreased, but in the end of the week you need to see that, okay, what is the reason my sales got decreased? So that one you need to analyze, right? If you want to do the analysis, you need to pipe the data in that big data warehouse system, and you need to do the run the couple of algorithm, and you need to find that root cause. But everything within that like a couple of minutes you can understand the problem in this visual. So that is a cool in that key influencer. And second thing is a decomposition. So decomposition tree also, it's another key AI visual. That visual also you can understand the metric based on that different path. For example, usually any kind of visual, like people will see the one is either in the at a time you can see the success scenario or in the failure scenario. But in the decomposition you can see in the both at a single time. You can see between the, you can compare the difference. Okay, if it is a success scenario, what is my outcome? If it is a failure scenario, what is my outcome? So that's how you can compare each by each in the single visual. So that is a cool features available in the decomposition. And the QNS means any kind of non-citizen developer or any like a non-bag, if you want like some of their like a senior leadership team want to see the different metric, means they can type the question is that one, they can generate the visual. So that one is like Q&A visual. Okay, I will directly jump to the demo so that like you will get a like whatever the theoretical so far we saw, we can directly see in that demo. So I'm not having that good connectivity, so apologies for that one, but I will try to cover as much as. Okay, you can see this one. So because for that network connectivity, I already loaded the data to save the time. So if you see this one like key influencer, today we are going to see about the key influencer. So before jumping to this visualizer, you need to see about that what is our objective. See, this I have a data which has that customer feedback about my cloud service. I'm running my private cloud. I'm offering to the customer, various customer. In my cloud service, the various customers are utilizing my cloud service. With that, like they shared their feedback. How about my service? That's how, that is a data source here. So I need to understand about the customer pulse. Okay, all the customers are happy or any of the customers are not happy, and what is the reason they are not happy, and those things I need to understand. So that is a key thing, right? So in that one, this is a data set. I just want to first explain about the data set, because without understanding this data, you cannot understand this visual also, because many people are not utilizing this key influencer. So when you understand the data, you can also go and just to try about that visual. So you can see this one, this is my customer data. Like you can see customer ID, what is my tenure, how long this customer is there. And based on what is the geography about this customer, whether it's a complete tutorial, what is the customer subscription ID, what about the role, and what is their company, and what is the rating. So you can see about rating. This is a key thing for us to analyze this visual. And what their theme, what is the theme they are using, what is their original score and all. This is my plain data set. It's everything row based data. Each customer has their own record, so individual record, like for example. And similarly, I have a device, everything as a dimension and geographical, what type of role and what is the subscription. So those kind of data will be there. Okay, so I think, yeah, you got a basic idea about that what we are going to do in this key influencer. So I'm going to analyze about what is my customers, like how many people are liking that my cloud services based on their rating, because my key metric is the rating. So based on the metric, I'm going to run this entire AI model in this within the Power BI desktop itself. See how cool this one. So if you go this one, right? So for example, like this is a visual, like a reporting canvas, like in this canvas, you can drag and drop any kind of visual. But today we are going to see about AI visual. In that, see that how I differentiate the standard visual and AI visual. If you want to see that one, you can just select this one, go mouse over, you can see the name also. But another way, you can select this one, you can see this one, there is a small kind of like a bulb. So you can see this one. So whatever the visual, if you are dragging, if you have this symbol, means that is a AI visual. It behind that one, machine learning algorithm going to run on this data set. So that one, you no need to worry about this one. Who is going to take care about the data, compute power and algorithm, everything Microsoft Power BI will take care. So Power BI will do the behind that analysis based on the whatever the data you are going to feed to this visual. So that is a key difference here. So now I selected this visual. I'm going to, as I said that one, I'm going to analyze my thing. What is that rating? Okay, so this is the analyzing. I'm just to drag this rating. So what is the thing you need to analyze? Because nobody wants to immediately analyze about the high rating. People want to analyze the low rating only. So you can select the low rating. Similarly, here also there is a metrics level you can select also 1 or 0, everything available. So but now we are going to analyze about the what is a low rating. What happened? This is one. So I can go and just choose this one, like what is my role? Okay, I can, based on this one, you can see this one how this data is computing. I'm just selecting my roles in that explained by attribute section, and you can see this one. I'm selecting that subscription. It is taking a little bit time, and you can just based on the selection each and some, everything will be computing. You can see this one. So I'm just selecting theme and geography. I'm just selecting the what is the region about this customer. So I selected this customer. Each and every column, it is keep on its computing in the behind that algorithm will run. So what is my company size? I'm just selecting my company size. So you can see this one. So I selected the rating. I'm going to based on the rating, based on these are the various attributes I'm going to analyze. So I selected this one. So with the visual, so what we are getting from the initially, see, we are seeing that one. We selected the rating. What is the lower rating? We are going to analyze. So in this one, like based on this individual metrics, whatever I'm sorry, individual attribute, whatever I'm adding this attribute based on that, my influencer will vary. If I remove this compute company size means the influencer will recompute. You can see this one. These are the influencer list will be decreased. If I select this one, the influencer list will be increased because behind this one, machine learning will compute based on that whatever the attributes you have added in this panel. So in terms of this, all the things you can see this one, the top influencer in this one, the role in the organization, the consumer. So whatever that, because there are that, if you want to see this one, how many roles in my attribute. If you for that, I can just drag and drop here in this one of this one. You can see this one. I have like 3 roles in my data set. So in this role, I can choose this rating also. For example, to better understanding. And again, I'm just dragging this one in that count. How many roles available? You can see this one in this role ID. I think, yeah, okay, I can choose this one. So with that, like you can see this one, the consumer having the selected the higher roles, and the consumer has the lower role also. So when I drag this one in the rating one, so when I use this count, the number of rating, it's applied. See, if you see this one in that the consumer, there are higher rating, they have the consumer role. There are people are 24K people are selected, gave the higher rating. Similarly, 4,000 people are gave that lower rating for the consumer role. Similarly, for this administrator, I think 2,500 people, and similarly for the lower rating, 390. So this is based on the each role. This many people are provided the rating. This is a key thing. So that's why I'm showing this data, because you need to understand the data, how the influencer are calculating. So based on this one, if you come like the key influencer is like a top influencer is a role in the organization consumer like. So the consumer is like who are provided the lower rating approximately like you can see that 2%. If you are I'm just reading this text. When the role in the organization, the consumer, likely 2.55 times more likely to be lowered compared to the other values in the role in the organization. Nothing but like, so it's like it's a predicting this result. For example, like if you are tomorrow, like any persons are added in the consumer role, there will be more chances, 2.5 chances they are going to provide the lower rating. See, it's a predictions happening there. As I said initially, 1 week sales, what is happening wrong means you can understand the reason. Similarly, who are going to future going to add in the consumer role, they are going to provide the lower rating. The model itself providing the prediction here without doing the any kind of machine learning algorithm. Everything is analyzing in the visual itself. So you can understand the problem so that you can improve your business or you can address the consumer case. So that I can show you that how you are going to address that one. But in the visual level, you are seeing the problem. What is happening in my cloud service? How many consumer are liking my cloud service? You are deriving this problem here itself instead of like go on the building the different AI team. And another thing is like in the right side panel, you can see this one. You can mouse over. There is a 40% of this one consumer, almost like they gave like 29,000. So in that, like the average rating, if you see this one, in the 5% they are the average rating is that. In that, like, so here they gave like a 29K people are rated the lower. I think 40% people are rated the lower out of the total 29K. This one like a rating total. See, total 29K people rated for that, including high and low. In that 40%, 14% they rated as a lower rating. So that's why you are seeing in this one. But similarly, for the administrator role, you can see this one only the total rating they provided only 2,900. In that 13% are they rated as a lower rating. That's the reason, even though it's a 29 and here is a 2,000, why these bars are means it's a percentage, like a lower percentage they are just showing in this one. This is how like you need to see that various available. Just now I showed only one role, it's a role level, but here similarly you can see about the theme level. So how many people are liking this my theme, like my cloud service theme? So it's a single visual. It is variety of the information you are generating the insights based on this, whatever the data you are feed into this model. You can see this one in the theme wise usability theme. People are low. I think provided the 28% lower rating. And for example, security theme. So security theme 22%. So similarly, you can understand. So I need to improve my security theme, or I need to improve my usability theme. That's how you can understand your problem and you can improve your business. So, and this likelihood, you can see this one like security theme. So similarly, you can see the subscription type, which is a likely. So that's how like you can understand that your problem, what is happening because of that, why the people are provided the low rating. So that's how like you need to do this one. So another cool things I want to show one more flavor, that is called tenure. So I'm just adding the tenure in my visualizer. You can see the running the analysis. I just want to show. When I added the tenure, you can see this one, the top influencer, you can see 2.86. That is my tenure is like more than 29. Like for example, whoever people are long people, like I think the tenure like 29 years, like 29 years that using our cloud service, they offered like almost like 29%, almost like 30%. They rated a low rating, which means that tomorrow, like whoever is consumer is like a long running consumer, they are also going to be provided the lower rating. That is a chance. You can see the rating is more likely be lower when the tenure is more than 29. That's a years than that's otherwise. So that's how like it will be calculated. So if you want to detail, so that's why I'm saying based on the individual tenure, if you want to see about that one, you can also create that one. Another thing is like one more thing I just want to see like company size. When you go for the company size, yeah, this is another thing. You can just drag and drop your company size and let me delete the previous one so that like I can create a slicer. So the key thing is like okay, so I'm just using this one. So I'm just drag and drop this company one. So in the after that, I'm just converting this as a slicer so that another key important here. Just now I selected based on that attributes, whatever I'm adding in the key influencer, the analysis is computing dynamically. Similarly, if you added any slicer in this panel, if you selecting this slicer, that also it will to start do the analysis. It will start running the machine learning analysis and it will repopulate the chart. It's a completely dynamic chart. So that is why difference between the standard chart and the AI chart. So that's why. So when I choose this company size like above 50,000 employees means you can see this one tenure is more than 80, which likely be offered the lower rating. See, we are analyzing everything based on the lower rating only. Always that's why I'm saying whatever that you want to analyze, that metric only completely going to be computed in this machine learning. So that's how like you can see based on your company size, you can see the analysis will vary and you can understand the problem and you can understand the small scale industry also. What is a small scale industry are concerned? What is a higher like enterprise scales are concerned? So that's how like you can analyze your problem in this visual. So that is a cool features in this entire thing is one. And another features like the segment, people are like marketing department, they want to see about the segmentation. See in the segmentation, how many people are like bucket in this one. For example, in this segment, you can see this one 35%, that is the bowl is like a segment size. So for example, we have the model is found like a 4 segment ranked by percentage of rating. So percentage of rating is a proportionally exponentially this value, and the population is the size. If you want to detail about that one, you can select the individual population in the segment. You can see this one in the segment, 35% of rating is low because there is a like a 23% of point is higher than this average, which means that you can see this one 35% are rated the 35 lower rating. In the total populations, like you can see almost like a 2000 data points. So that's how like you can see that individual segmentation, how this class they categorize this data. And like for example, like other segment also you can analyze. You can see the company size less than 5 means how many people are rated the lower. So and what is my average one? So because in the single visual you are comparing with your average number also. So that is a key difference here. So this is a key thing. So you are seeing everything, you are analyzing everything in the Power BI itself. So that's why I'm saying tomorrow at least go and just try on this AI visual, how you can your data set can do the analysis. So that's how like the key influencer will help on your like understand your what is the problem in your data, why that sales are decreased, why the consumer are rated low, or why that other metrics also, for example negative rating, sentiment analysis, everything you can do in this visual itself. So this is a complete key influencer. And second thing is like I would just want to see the Q&A visual. So I think the same thing, like we are going to see that one. Okay, I'm just deleting this one so that like you can understand okay how to create a Q&A visual. So I'm not doing anything, just to directly go and just to select the Q&A visual. When you select the Q&A visual, the Q&A visual itself will go and just understand your data, whatever the data you loaded in this PBX file. It will populate the predefined all the like metrics. The Q&A people are any like a CEO and CTO people going to ask, okay, what is my show company? If you show company, it will already just populating the visual. So that cools, they are integrating everything. And what is my total tenure and what is the, see, once you will get the total tenure means, and you can pin this visual also. Here is an option. If you want to like turn this Q&A visual into the standard visual. Once you standard visual, you can pin into your dashboard and you can create also. So instead of like you creating the report, like the artificial intelligence creating the features. So that is a one cool thing, this one. And another cool feature is like for example, you have like a different various audiences there. Like for example, some of your people are only aware about that Swedish or Spanish. For that, like you can train this model in the custom model. So how to train this model? Just select this one. You can teach the Q&A. So for example, ready-made, the company in the Spanish means, because for the quickly I'm just this is a word because Google Translator, from that I found this one. So you can see, search this one, empresa. This is a Spanish word. When you submit this one in the empresa, it's nothing but it's a company in that English. So I'm just training this my model. Whoever is typing this empresa, you just understand that is a company. So that's how like you can select this my company. So and you can see this, you can train that visual also. If any future somebody typing this one empresa, and you can just say that one my the model should understand this one. Okay, it has to, somebody typing means it has to pick from the company data. So that's how like you can teach your visual in this various languages, and even you can add the more questions, everything. So that's how like you can select this one. Since I didn't sign in, if you sign in and you can submit that your data. So when you sign in this one, you can submit your data and the model will start train about this one. So that's how like then once you train, and if you train that one, then you can come and type also, then it will start show this one. So already I trained this one, so that's the reason when I type this Spanish, automatically pick up this visual. See how cool this one. You can see this one without like doing any kind of different computing power. I'm just implementing the speech translation also and other things also. Everything I'm just doing in my Power BI desktop itself without moving to the different section and all. So this is a second visual, and third one is like another key things like a composition one. So I'm directly loaded the data set, but you can load any kind of data. So that's the key things like, so you can see this one. I'm just deleting this visual also. I'm directly go here. You can see mouse over and select the decomposition tree. So here also important. See, you can have any number of visual also, but If you are not understanding your data, you are not understanding your problem, you cannot just derive your metrics, or you are not bringing your insights. See, because as you are a data analyst, as you are like a data engineer, like your team member or your manager will ask about that, I need to find the problem. That problem you can show to your customer, then customer will see that, okay, they can take the business objective and they can correct the things. So that's how like everything will address the problem. So here is the example, like I have a data set called insurance. In the data set insurance data set, I just populated the insurance charges. So I, like everybody know about the health insurance. In the health insurance, how likely that health insurance charges to the men or women or what based on the gender, who like a more charged this insurance, that we are going to analyze in this visual. So I'm just have the plain data. With the plain data, I'm going to address the problem. Who is having the highest charges? See, if you want to do this analysis means I need to go and just feed into the my model, A model, and in that I need to train with the Python packages, everything. I need to bring up that all the things, but I'm not going to do anything without a visual. I'm going to do this, address the problem. See, you go to this one. I think hopefully you understand the data. I'm just similarly the objective is important. What metrics you are going to analyze? I'm going to analyze my charges because that is my key metric. Okay, so in this one you can get, as soon as you select this one, you are going to analyze this one. So I'm going to analyze this one. Other metric, you can select age. You can drag and drop the age. If I'm going fast, sorry about that one, because of the time only, I'm just going little fast, but hopefully I think I can add a BMI and children's also, so that like you'll get an idea. So you can see I just I'm going to find my problem in the charges. Who is charges? If you see this one like charges, so that is a single visual. Here you will get options like all the metrics. So if you are seeing this one, I can expand this one. If it is a if you want, I can just zoom also. Okay, so you can see this one. Okay, if I select this one, okay, charges, how would happen? If I select simple standard visual, this is, I'm not applying any A. If I select this one, it can immediately without, because if you want to bring this classification for the standard visual, you need to create a different measure, a DAX formula, everything you need to apply. Then only you can able to derive this all the metrics. But with the decomposition, within a minute, like you can see everything. Okay, total charges, for example, 19 year people are charged this many value, like 600K, and for 52 years old people like 500K, like that you can see this one. So I'm not going to use this one, the standard one. I'm going to want to use this one, the AI feature. So here also I can see this one low. What are the people are charges a lower value, like a lower value? See, the lower charges for the insurance, the people who has the less BMI index. See, immediately you are seeing the result here. So the similarly, I can select, I'm going to apply. For example, here I'm lower, right? So again, I can see, I can apply for this one. I can select the ages. In the lower BMI index, who has a lower BMI index? What kind of sex? Like for example, male people or female. So and in that, another thing like I can apply. For example, children's. If children's not applicable means I can apply the other like ages also. For example, in this one, what age people like really like a lower BMI index and lower insurance charges. This is the one thing I can see immediately, and you can jump to this another metrics also. For example, now 15 BMI index you are seeing, right? If you want to see what is the metrics for the 35 BMI index means, select this one immediately without changing this one. 35 BMI index, what is the male percentage and now what is the age? So that's how like you can just mouse over, you can see the value. But I need to see, show the cool things. For example, similarly, you can go there. I'm putting the who the people are high insurance charges. This is a key thing I want to see. I think you might have know male people are higher insurance charges. And what is the other category? See, you can see this one. Who are smoking the people, they are charging the higher insurance, health insurance. Obviously, right? So people are who's smoking, they have the higher insurance premium. So that is, you can see the problem. But that is not the only flavor. You can see that why that other like non-smoking people also charges this one. If you want to analyze this one, you can see about like their BMI index. Their BMI index may be like different. That's the reason like even the male, their charges like 400. So that you can analyze also. Similarly, without jumping to this one, you can directly go to the female, you can analyze it. Female, likely you can see the female higher ratio is like here, female also the smoking people are higher insurance charges. So in that you can see this one like what is anything like ages, like what people are ages are like in the smoking section is like yes, in that like a younger generation, like you can see that 19 years people, so you can see this larger insurance charges. If you likely go there, like 64 people means it's a less premium, like only 150k only, but here 220k the charges. So that's how you can analyze your problem or analyze your data without doing the any kind of different computing. You can see everything in this one itself. So that is why I'm saying that one AI visual, like you can start, you use that AI visual, you can see the real difference about your data or you read about your data. So that is how the key difference between the standard and the AI visual. I can show the another thing also. This is a smoker, right? So you can go this one directly. I can apply one more dimension. So like I'm just selecting again higher insurance charges. In the higher, I can choose instead of like age. What are the people are really charged? You can see this one. It's likely they are applying that exponential like a 60 people, like 60 above 60 people means they are putting the larger charge because they'll get that more often like a medical problem. So that's why they are, and similarly younger generation also. Younger generation, you already know that one, that is because of the smoking. But 60 means what is happening in that elder people. In the elder people, you can again see this one. In the elder people, what is the different classification? For example, 3% for that 60, and in that like above age 60, in that there is a different classification. You are seeing this one. If your data set is wrong means you can also see the wrong prediction here. If your data is accurate means you can see the accurate prediction here. So that's how like you can understand your metrics and you can understand the various, you can apply that one. So that is why I'm saying this one, the decomposition, the very good visual, and you can see this one. Even for example, the male, for example, 64 older people, their BMI index are that is causing the major charges for this 30. Because you can see this one, 36 BMI index who is having that one, they are paying the higher insurance charges. So that you can see this one. Within this visual itself, you can address the problem. So that's how like this decomposition will be like a highly customizable and highly you can see the problem also. And similarly in that here also you can see this one. Okay, see I mean what is that one? So you can apply this Q&A visual and you can see the result also. See total this one, and similarly you can delete and you can apply the same like a total BMI indexes. You can create a chart and you can just pin that one also. So that's how like you can use the Q&A. I think that this is the 3 cool visuals without using the premium workload. That is another advantage I'm saying. If you want to do this one in that standard machine learning means you need to purchase the machine and algorithm, everything will be more charged. But without the within that standard Power BI Pro edition, you can do this all the AI feature and bringing the metric. And another thing is like you no need to be a AI engineer, because to understand the linear regression and other kind of algorithm are not required. Citizen developer or any no-code developer can analyze this using this visual, can find the problem with the data. So that is why I'm just showed this one in the AI feature. Okay, now these are the 3 demo, and I'm just jumping to my visual. You can see this one. The another key features are available. Power BI data flow. So the Power BI data flows, like for example, if you want to, I think Power BI desktop has that another supported is there, like that is called like you can just edit that one. Like for example, edit query means you can do the all the transformation, like adding new column, adding computing this value. For example, BMA means you can just round up this value. Everything you can do all the transformation in the Power BI desktop. But the people are shared the feedback to the Microsoft. They want the similar capability in the Power BI service. When I explained the architecture, that time I explained the two flavor. One is a Power BI and Power BI desktop. So if you want to bring this entire capability in the Power BI service, you can go and just directly do using this Power BI data flow. So that's why the key difference in the Power BI data flow, you can do all the ETL transformation. So that is a key thing here. And once you do the transformation, you can create a table. That entire output table you can store in the Azure Data Lake Storage Generation 2 in the Azure style. And people will ask the question, do you need to purchase the subscription or do you need to pay the cost? No, nothing. Everything is free. Everything will be included in your Power BI subscription. So that is a highly advantageous in the Power BI data flow. So you can join the various table, and the table here they are calling as entity. You can join the multiple entity and you can create a data set and you can finally store into the data data lake storage. Or people will, I don't want to store in my data lake. Yeah, still you can store in the Power BI subscription, or you can still store in that your local file also. Anything is offered. That's why that is everything based on the user choice. So these are the cool things I can show on directly in the Power BI service how this Power BI data flow is there. So for the pictorial representation, I can see this one. You can connect from the various data sources. Like one is like online data sources, your on-prem, local, shared file, and some analysis services data source. Everything you can combine. You can store into the data like Gen2, and finally you can move to the data set like a Power BI data set. From the Power BI data set, you can create a report. So that's how I'm saying that one. So people will often ask the difference between the data set and data flow. A data flow is a completely ETL transformation, everything included. You can combine from the various data source and you are just generating the data flow. But data set is nothing but actually your data set, like a kind of like a final output about your entity. With that, you can generate the report. So that is a key difference. So I'm just jumping to my Power BI service so that like I can show this one. So how this one, so this is my Power BI service. We have our own tenant. In the tenant, like I just for the saving the time, I just created this data flow. If you want to create a data flow, you go to the workspace, and this is our workspace, and in that there is an option called new and data flow. When you click the new data flow, you have an option called option. Define a new entity, link the existing entity, or if you have a model already, with the model also you can create a data flow. So I'm just selecting the new entity. If you see select the new entity, you are getting the various options. You can see Excel file, folder, JSON, and different databases. That's why I'm saying people are not ready to. You have a scenario, use case scenario. Customer is asking. You need to bring the data from that various third-party sources like AWS, and one is from the Azure, one is from the SAP or Facebook. But you need to create all the 4 different data sources. You need to combine everything, and you need to expose that entire entity as a single entity to the entire organization. That is a use case. For that, you can for the use cases, the best solution is the data flow. So you can join everything. You can create all the big data query also one entity. Amazon Redshift also one entity. Everything you can select. With that, you can publish your data set in your organization. So people, other team can use your data flow. Data flow. They can build their own report. So that's how like the data flow will be highly usable and the customizable. And you can see this one of the thing, I'm just selecting this one. Here also another cool thing is like if you already configure a data key, so you can select your data key and choose your thing, and you can just provide your local file. So I just stored the local file in this one, and you can connect also. So you can provide this one. So and with that, like you can locally, and you can select this one. Like you can connect your like a local Excel. In the local Excel, you can just directly pipe the data to here also. So that is the advantages here. It is not only you need to connect to the data set, and you can connect to the other things also. And so already like you can select this one. If you are already running this one, it's everything. You can select this data source. And if you are need to see this one, and you need to provide the proper password and everything. And with that one, you can select this data source. So this is one example I'm showing, but other than that, you can select the any online sources also. So that's how like you can go on just to choose that one. So, but since already I
Thiru, I
connected this
think
one.
there is an issue on your file path. It should be $1, right? After D.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, no. What is a DS? No, is it $?
No, that's a DS only.
Okay, okay, yeah.
DS folder only. This one. So it's a DS. So I just selected for this one, and maybe WR. My username might be different because that is connected from the. No, this is because of this credential only. Because previously I connected this one.
Yeah,
So
it could
I passed
be.
that.
Yeah, it could be due to the caching or session expiry, right? So yeah.
Yeah, so I can quickly show that one existing one, but this is purely based on my credential error only, and I can directly go to this one. I can close this one. So if you go this one, existing one, I already connected. So with that, like you can directly see your existing Power BI data flow. In the data flow, you can see this one insurance data flow already connected in the data. So you can just try to use this one. Either you can just apply this one also. And another thing is like if you want to apply the ML model against this data flow, you need to have the premium capacity. You can see I should be have the premium capacity. I don't have that one. If you want to see that what is your capacity, you can see this one pro account. As I mentioned already, so there is a two version, pro and premium. So based on this one, you can choose this one. And another thing, like one more last one, like I'm showing, if you have like a number, like for example charges, like if you want to do the analysis, some text analysis means here you can see this one, the Power BI query itself like there are that machine learning integrations available. For that you need to go for the premium capacity. If you select this one, it will clearly show that one, okay, you need to go for the premium one. So people will load the data. They don't know like how many null columns there, how many like individual value, how many are valid value. Nowadays, like they are analyzing using this premium capacity. So instead of like the Power BI like reports thrown an error in the runtime, everything you can before loading itself using this Power BI AL workload, you can analyze this all the data set. So that's how like they are evolved in this in the Power BI desktop itself. So you can see this one premium capacity is required for do this all the analysis. So that's why. So these are the things completely. So you can try to go and just explore the AI feature in this one, and just if you have any question, directly just reach us. So in that like we will assist you and that address your problem also. I think yeah, I'm final end of this one. So we have also pasted this reference links. Just you can go and read about more on that one, and you can just reach us anytime.
Thiru,
Okay.
I just need 5 more minutes. I did manage to show the clusters. I'll quickly show to everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can share your screen.
Yeah. So let me quickly share my screen. First of all, sorry, we were not able to complete the session on time. We would have got it scheduled for for 2 hours or 1.5 hours or so. We will do it next time. Right, so hope everyone can see my screen, and thanks Thiru. It was a wonderful AI features which I have shown. I loved it. So and also at the last part, Thiru was showing the data flow, right? And using the data flow, you can also connect to the on-premise data sources through the data gateway, and which he had also tried to show through a data gateway to access a folder on an Azure virtual machine. Right. So here, let me quickly show the interface for a cluster. So assume that we have got a gateway configured on a machine, and we would like to create one more machine joining to the same cluster, right? So after you have given your account for the primary cluster, the initial, the first one, and once that is is selected, and you select add to an existing gateway cluster, and you check on this one. After you check on that one, you get to choose to which cluster you would like to join. And the gateway local is something which we have created on one local machine, right? And then you put in the recovery key, whatever key which you have created while creating the first gateway configuration. And once you do it, you put it here, and then put in the name. It automatically it will be created, right? So there'll be now 2 gateways running on 2 different machines, connecting to on-premise data sources. Right, so let me now quickly show you here. As I said, we can also administer the data gateways from the admin center of the Power Platform. And this is the URL admin.powerplatform.microsoft.com. And here, once you connect, and then you click on this data, and here is where you see all the gateways which is installed on your tenant. Right, so we have got 3 gateways here. Right, so if I choose this one, the gateway local, because the one which I've shown you, the cluster one, I haven't yet configured it, so it is not appearing here. So just an example, if I choose this one and go to settings, and this is where you can make it as a round robin, right? So distribute request across all active gateways in this cluster. So this means it is round robin. So the first gateway on-premise refresh request will be served by the first gateway, and then the second one will go to the next machine. And if you choose this one, this is how it goes, right? And also there are a couple of other options which you can take a look at it. And now I would like to also quickly show the administrators, to talk about the administrators for a data gateway. And when you, if you remember, when we tried to configure the data gateway, we have entered an user ID, right? And if you'd like to add a few more users to this gateway, you can add it here. You can go to the manage gateways, and then you select the gateway, and then administrators, you can add other users. And what this means is the other users will also be able to use this gateway to create and publish reports or dashboards. Right, so that is it. Now the PowerShell utility which I was showing, and once that module is installed, and you'll have to log in with this command, log in on-premises data gateway. And if you enter this command, and you'll be prompted for the credentials, the account which we have created to configure the data gateway. And once that is done, I have already logged in, and you can get all the details, right? So for example, data gateway clusters, right? And what is the data gateway available? We have got 2 gateways right now, data gateway in Azure, and who has got permissions, right? And what are the different the other gateways, and what is the status of it, right? And what type of load balancing it has been configured? Is it a failover or a round robin? And you get to see all details from this PowerShell command. Right, and also you'll be able to get the same details from the admin center as well, but with limited. And what is the status of your gateway? Is it up and running fine? And those details you'll be getting it from here as well. But with PowerShell, you can get more information. Right, so that is it from our side. And before we proceed to the questions section, and we'll be doing this meetups. It is all virtual each and every month, right? Our next session is going to be on Microsoft Graph, and how you can use Microsoft Graph to on a machine or on a web browser, using application permissions, delegated permissions, and etc. And we are going to discuss about all different authentication flows when it comes to Graph, right? So that is our next topic. We'll be posting that on LinkedIn, and also we'll be creating an event on the meetup. Yeah, if you're interested on the topic, please do join us. So now comes the interesting one, right? So questions, and if you've got any questions on whatever we have discussed till now, please unmute yourself and ask us.
Hi.
Yep, we can hear.
Ranganathan here.
Mhm.
Thanks for the info on AI features Power BI. That's interesting. May you know what's the backward compatibility for these features up to which version of Power BI is available?
Dhruv, you want to take it up?
Yeah, I will take it up. Your voice is not audible. Could you please speak loudly?
Okay. My question was, what's the backward compatibility? How far back or the version of Power BI supports these AI visuals?
Okay, so yeah, in terms of, as I said, the Power BI is a online service. So because it's not kind of like a .NET framework like 3.5, 4.5 or something like we are running. So we need to run the Power BI means we have to run in the Power BI service only. But if you are not, if you don't want to run in the Power BI service, if you want to run in local means the Power BI desktop every month they are releasing that Power BI desktop version. If you have a Power BI desktop like 1 year older version, that version may not available this AI visual. If you want to leverage the AI visual, you need to download the latest Power BI desktop. With that, like you can leverage this one. So it is not kind of like backward compatibility. Go and work on this one. Now the current live version support that both either the older one and the new one also, but the AI only available in the newer version.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Hello, hi. This is Umar Basha.
Mhm.
Regarding this AI platform, which in Power BI is there, so is it only limited to what you say supervised learning, where we have to provide some data, or is it like it have other some? What is the basic limitation in this AI Power BI thing? I just want to know that.
Okay, yeah, that is also a good question. So there is no limitation here. That's why I'm saying that's the reason they divided the license. One is the Power BI Pro and Power BI Premium. In the Premium, what they are saying, you can tie up your own model also. Like that's why they have a direct integration with the Azure ML learning. I think I showed that in the desktop. So you already have a build one model in the, then you hosted in that Azure Machine Learning Studio. The same model you can integrate to your Power BI desktop and you can just generate the visuals. So there is no limitation. Only thing, the price will be different. So if you want to leverage all the machine learning core features, then you need to go for the premium capacity.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Any other questions? I think yeah, already we have a delay. Okay. Thanks for the. Yeah,
I think somebody
sorry.
has got a question. Yeah.
Currently, we are having the data set refresh. No, so only if we refresh, we are able to see the latest data. Is there any other possibilities to see a live data?
Yeah, so you're talking about the dataset refresh, right? This okay, yeah. So you can automatically schedule the refreshes, right? Be it an on-premise data source or cloud data source, you can schedule it, and you can do 48 refreshes per day as of now for a dataset.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
so
using this.
Yeah. No. You go ahead if you've got something to say, Thiru.
Yeah, using the same gateway, you can create a live connection report. So that live connection report is a real-time reporting. So the gateway only going to support, but the real-time monitoring dashboard, like for example, as soon as the data gets updated in the backend, it really show in that report itself. So that one also you can create also for this kind of scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. For example, we have done a session on IoT last time, right, through the Cloud User Journey Group, and we are doing stuffs to control devices. How you can control a device through the Microsoft 365 services like Power App, and that was our last session. Right, but you can also send in data to IoT Hub, right? Which, for example, if you have got a sensor and where you'd like to capture the data through the send to the IoT Hub, then you can live stream that data to Power BI, right? So you can do that live streaming as well. That is quite feasible.
So in that case, whenever the data comes in, the report gets refreshed automatically, or we need to set up the.
No, it gets automatically refreshed, and I've done this configuration very recently. If you wish, maybe down the line we can do a session on that topic. Yeah.
Oh. Yep. Okay. Thank you.
We have also sent in the survey form, right, about what you like most about this session, and if you have got any interesting topics for us to present in the future sessions, please let us know. Right, I appreciate if you can fill up that survey form, and also we have recorded the session, and this recording will be available. We'll be posting that on our LinkedIn handles, right? So yeah, any other questions, we can take it up. If not, we can wind off, and hopefully we can meet the next time.
So what kind of sessions are you guys like interested to take up in future? Like, is only on the Microsoft platform, or is it out of Microsoft platforms also, like some cross platforms or some open source platforms?
Yeah, we will be doing definitely sessions on open sources, right? So for example, React, right? Definitely we'll be doing it. But as of now, we both have majorly worked with Microsoft 365 services and also Azure, right? So we'll be definitely doing it on this now. But if there is interest on other technologies, and we will invite speakers to speak on this, yeah, we'll do that. And it's all based on your interest and what topic you'd like to see us presenting sessions.
So is there a possibility of having a session on something called system design, or how to approach a system design approach? Like whenever there is we have to, like, and with the point of architecture point of view. So
yeah, you can. Yeah, we can take a look. Let us know on the feedback form. We will definitely take a look, and then we'll get back. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think there is some question regarding Tableau, right? I didn't quite get that one. So Ranganathan, if you could unmute and ask us, that would be great.
Yes, my question about Tableau is that whether you can give a comparison in terms of how Tableau supports AI functionality compared to Power BI. Hi.
Yeah, we are listening in. Through, you want to take this up?
Yeah, okay. So the Tableau is kind of like it's on-prem and online versions, because the Tableau, it has the online versions also. But the thing is like Tableau means you need to, the major one is like you need to install the dedicated server and other configurations required. But in that Power BI, the core main difference is like the Power BI server you will not maintain, everything maintained by the Microsoft. So that's why they called us like online business analytical tool, Power BI usually. But Tableau is completely differ from the Power BI. And another thing is like Power BI has a lot of connectors are available, but Tableau does not have the all the connector, which is how that directly integrating this one. And another thing is like the Tableau is not supporting any AI feature and all by default. If you want means you need to separately bring that one. But in the Power BI means everything is already integrated. You can directly plug and play that AI features and you can directly create the visuals. So that is the core thing, that the difference. So there is no on-prem versions are that for the Power BI. If you want to bring that one, there is a separate section called Power BI Report Server. For that one, if any organization they want to spin up their own intranet Power BI portal means, then you go and choose for the Power BI Report Server. In the Power BI Report Server, you will have the full control. You need to have a dedicated VM for install the Power BI Report Server. You need to set up. That is the equivalent for the on-prem capability as it is in the Tableau. So that's how like you need to different that one. So that's why I'm saying that one, the performance, maintenance, and the clustering and other thing like integration, everything like vast improved in the Power BI side than this Tableau.
Okay, thank you.
So I see another question on the chat. I'm not able to say the name. Can you take a look at that one and answer that?
Yeah, I think, yeah, sorry to, I think we are, I think you can also tell how to pronounce your name. Okay, the best.
Yeah, you can go ahead and answer the question.
Yeah, so yeah, based on the questions like you want to connect the lot of sources and you can unify it. But the data set means like the data set also you can, hi Timur, okay, thanks. Okay, the data set also you can create in the Power BI subscription itself. I think I can show the options also. Quickly share my screen, I can show that one. Where the data sets there, so that you will get a better understanding.
Yeah, I'm stopping my presentation.
Okay, yeah, sure. So I think just let me know once you're able to see my screen. You can see this one. So as soon as like you publish the report, like publish any report, like you can have options here as a data set. This data sets also stored in this Power BI subscription service only. But directly it is stored that one. So you can here also you can just refresh and reconfigure everything. But in the data set you don't have option to store in the Azure data lake storage and all. Here there is no option and all. But Power BI data flow you have option. You can directly go and just store in that Zen, or you can store in the local also. But the data set is like everything you can store in the Power BI subscription only. And here you can create a report also. You can see I'm just selecting the data set. I'm just directly go there and create a new report. So in that, whatever the data set you already published and you created, it will be available here. And you can just use that corresponding attribute and you can just create a report. Did I answer your question, Timur?
Yeah. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
The question is about how does the data sets are created. I didn't catch it. Where are the data located in which are in these data sets? I see that shape tables, sales customers, application people, and two other tables, and yes. So how all that tables were accumulated in the data set?
Okay, so you are asking like how to create a data set, new data
yes.
set?
How did you create it?
Okay. Yeah, similarly, you can go here. I am just not saving this one. So you can here you can have options there. You can create new data set.
Oh.
How you are creating data flow, here also you can create a data set. Select this data set. Okay. Either way, if somebody publish any of your organization already published data set, you can reuse or you can go there. If for Azure SQL database, select this one and it will ask the standard credential. Select, see, these are the published data set already available, but it will go and just go and select your data source, or like any other apps already published means you can use
for
this
example, Salesforce or Excel. Because, okay.
So that's how you can get it. So this is how we get this one. If you need to publish this data set in your organization or in your Power BI subscription, then you can just choose that one.
I should
As an app, you might have heard about content packs. Content pack, that's an older version. The older version of content pack reformed to this one. And here also, one more, you have a local file. Choose this local file using the same enterprise gateway. Select your local file, go to this one, and I'm going somewhere like something like I have some sample data set. Select this one and choose, and you can import the data set. Import to the so that's how you can create this one. So that's what I'm saying. Once you create, you can name it that one, whatever that one, and with that you can use that one. So I need to choose that on-prem because I'm not using this one. But the best thing is like, and another thing is like formatting is important. Another thing is like, if you're already having that any shared folder with the corresponding format, then properly you can create a data set.
So there are different data sets, as I understand. It may be from application services or from files or from SQL database.
Database, another cool thing. Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
All the data sets will be different, each by other. They would differ by the sources. One data set from files, another data set from databases. Yes?
Yes, that is true. For example, that is a key difference. If you want to create a database, you need to choose the only one source. But data flow, you can combine the multiple source as an entity. That is a key difference here. Another thing is like, you can create a data flow. For example, for data set, you can use that same data flow also. So that is a cool things available. If you already have that existing data set, data flow, you can use that one. So that is why the higher major advantage is people will first go for the data flow and combine all the different data sources. They will create a single unified data flow. Then using the same data flow, they will create a data set using this option.
Okay, I get it.
Then after that, you can create your own reporting. That's it. So that's why this diagram, just for the understanding purpose, the last diagram, I just added this one. You do this one, everything till this point is a data flow. After the data set, after that report, and finally dashboard.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Good.
Any other questions?
Okay, so if there are no more questions, we will close this session. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending, and have a nice weekend.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.